mayor would like to come over and say a few words as a proclamation that the county mayor put together.
Good morning, everybody. It's been a great day. Before I start, I would just like to thank Dan and our Veterans Committee for this initiative. We had talked about it. For those of you who know, we have our participatory budgeting program where residents generate ideas, and we take these ideas and we create projects and initiatives. And this veterans program came out in the very early years, and I want to thank Dan for bringing this to fruition, because this is going to be here forever, and it's just a great way to honor our veterans. So thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you've done for our community. We really appreciate it. We see you have the Marine Corps League with us behind you, so I know you're big in the Marine Corps League, so we really appreciate it. And thank you all for coming out today. I'd like to ask our council members to come up, and we're going to read a proclamation, and then we're going to unveil the sign top. Council members, come on up. Just a quick intro in case you don't know. I'm Kevin Green. Our Council President Adam Wright, Council Michael Benedetto, Council Jeff Regan, Council Martin Hodges, Council Annette Jordan. Borough Freehold Resolution of the Mayor and Council honoring Charles Butkus for the Veterans Commemorative. Whereas Charles Butkus is a resident of Freehold Borough. Whereas the Borough of Freehold established the Veterans Commemorative Partners Program to honor our veterans. Charles Butkus is ready for their outstanding contributions to our country, ensuring that their service is respected and remembered. Whereas Charles Butkus has served honorably in the Armed Forces and the United States Marine Corps. Hurrah! Hurrah! Hoorah! From April 2nd, 1951 to February 24th, 1954, during the Korean War. Whereas Charles Butkus' friends and family and the Freehold community at large seek to recognize and honor his selfless service. Whereas Charles Butkus will be inducted into the inaugural class honored Freehold Borough's veterans on July 4th, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that a commemorative marker in honor of Charles Butkus be prepared and mounted at the intersection of Douglas Road and Broadway in the Borough of Freehold, so that all may know of Charles Butkus' service to our nation during his time of need and honor him for his service. Be it further resolved, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold, that a copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to Charles Butkus, whose service and sacrifice is an inspiration to the citizens of the Borough of Freehold. Signed, Kevin King, Mayor, Borough of Freehold, July 14th. Okay, now Dan, if you'll do the honors, please. Oh, Paul.
Hey!
I'd be remiss if I didn't say a few words. I've known Charlie. I'm Frank Cashew, proud member of the Marine Corps Detachment of Freehold. And I've known Charlie for several years. It is a testimony to you, my friend, to see this crowd here. Your neighbors, your friends, your Marines are all here to congratulate you on a job well done after 94 years. You know, it was 1952 when Charlie rolled over in a foxhole and he survived. The other guy in the foxhole did not survive. But thank God that Charlie did. Thank God Charlie has been with us ever since. He's been a mainstay in Freehold. He's taken care of the point in Freehold for years and years, and he just continues to be a friend to all of us. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate the input.
Any family members or friends? Now we appreciate you all for coming out today.
To the mayor, he has a resolution he'd like to read. Mayor Kevin King.
Before I get started, I really want to thank Ken and Xavier and our Veterans Committee. We were just talking and the first one, and this started off as a participatory budgeting idea. We feel like, we ask residents for ideas, generate ideas, and we try to projects and create new things now that the residents want. Dan and his committee took this idea and ran with it and brought it to fruition. So I'd like to have a big applause for Dan and Xavier. I can't tell you how many times I've passed this corner. I grew up down the street my entire life, and I've probably been by this corner hundreds of thousands of times. And to honor Russell here and put a street topper on here that'll be here forever is something special. We grew up down the street from the Taylor family our whole lives, and what you and your family, Robbie and everybody, your parents have done for this town is tremendous. So it's an honor to be able to do this. So what I'm going to do is give a resolution of the Borough of Freehold of Mayor and Council honoring Russell Taylor with a Veterans Commemorative Marker. Whereas Russell Taylor was born and raised in Freehold Borough. And whereas the Borough of Freehold established a Veterans Commemorative Marker Program to honor our veterans and promote public awareness and appreciation for their outstanding contributions to our country, ensuring that their service is respected and remembered. And whereas Russell Taylor has served honorably in the Armed Forces of the United States of America as a sailor in the United States Navy from 1981 to 1985 and 2001 to 2010. Whereas Russell Taylor's family and friends and the Freehold community at large seek to recognize and honor his selfless service. Whereas Russell Taylor shall be inducted into the inaugural class of honored Freehold Borough veterans on July 4th, 2025. Now, therefore, be it resolved that a commemorative marker in the honor of Russell Taylor be prepared and mounted at the intersection of Lincoln Place and Kiowa Avenue in the Borough of Freehold, so that all may know of Russell Taylor's service to our nation during his time of need and honor him for his service. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold that a copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to Russell Taylor his service and sacrifice and inspiration to the citizens of the Borough of Freehold. By Kevin King, Mayor, July 4th, 2025. I just want to thank the committee and the borough. I think what's the funny thing is, Taylor's going back on Kiowa Avenue forever. That's right. There's been 4 Taylors on this street, none related, but they're coming back on. And I appreciate it. I thought I really appreciate it. So what I'd like to do is ask our council members, Council President Adam Rice, Councilman Martin Rogers, Councilman Ned George, Councilman Mike Benedetto, Councilman Jeff Friedman, Councilman Sharon Spencer could make it. We stand around and we ask Dan and Xavier if you'll please do the honor and the marker. One more. My father grew up down this way. First of all, they can play especially well here. The Taylor family has been giving back not only to the country but the community. Brother, fire department. Your dad, grandfather, so they all give him that Russell, great-grandfather. Russell is currently the president of the fire department, and his son is currently serving. So thank you to the Taylor family.
I'm the bartender!
been a fantastic effort. Everyone and the business administrator too, Mr. Gallo, Douglas Hall. This has been just a truly moving day, and I thank you all for this. I want to bring up Mr. Kevin up, Mayor Kevin Payne. He has a few words he'd like to say, and I'll let you take it over from here. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. We just started this today, and we're just over on the corner of Lincoln and Kiowa. And I said, I can't tell you how many times I've passed this corner. This corner, probably more than that corner. This is our house is right over there. I grew up in that house. This is our route to school every day, going to St. Rose, towards the Lincoln Field. So to have, as I've always known, Mr. Doan, I recently started calling him Bob, but forever, for my whole life, it was always Mr. Doan. Past that house hundreds of thousands of times. So this is truly an honor. But I want to recognize Danny Xavier and the entire Veterans Committee for spearheading this initiative. Starting grew out of our participatory budgeting program, which Kathy and Ted are both members of BB. And what we do is we throw it out to the residents to generate ideas on what different things we could do in town. And one of them was to honor the veterans. And these sign toppers is what came out of that initial discussion. So I just want to thank the BB Committee and the Veterans Committee for everything they've done. Maybe give them a round of applause. But for the man of the hour, I believe it's the 25th. We're going to be celebrating another trip around the sun.
Yes.
It'll be 102 years old on the 25th of this month.
Thank God.
We could tell many stories that any of us could ever imagine, I'm sure, especially about the history of this town and what this town has done. But what we want to do is honor Bob today for your commitment and your service to the town, and especially your service to our country. So I'd like to read this resolution on behalf of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold, honoring Robert Doan with a Veterans Commemorative Marker. Whereas Robert Doan is a resident of Freehold Borough, and whereas the Borough of Freehold has established a Veterans Commemorative Marker program to honor our veterans and promote public awareness and appreciation for their outstanding contributions to our country, ensuring that their service is respected and remembered. Whereas Robert Doan has served honorably in the Armed Forces of the United States of America as a sailor in the United States Navy from December 14, 1942 to November 30, 1945 during World War II. And whereas Robert Doan's friends and family and the Freehold community at large seek to recognize and honor his selfless service. And whereas Robert Doan shall be inducted into the inaugural class honor Freehold Borough Veterans on July 4th, 2025. Now, therefore, be it resolved that a commemorative marker in honor of Robert Doan be prepared and mounted at the intersection of Cottage Place and Hull Avenue in the Borough of Freehold, so that all may know of Robert Doan's service to our nation during his time of need and honor him for his service. Be it further resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold that a copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to Robert Doan for his honor, to honor his service on behalf of a grateful community. By Kevin Payne, Mayor of Borough of Freehold, July 4th, 2020.
There's so many of the guys that
Yes, we are. Any family members? Okay.
Our Father, in the name 5 daughters in a home with 1 full and survived. He lost his father at age 4, and his widowed mother raised him and his 3 siblings during the Great Depression. My grandmother was also an amazing woman and very selfless. She taught my father well to never take the blessings for granted, to always be grateful for what you have, and to be generous with it. He was only 18 when Pearl Harbor was attacked and had not paid much attention to the war in Europe prior to that event. But at the ripe old age of 19, he enlisted in the Navy. He and his buddy Joe Moore ventured into New York City to become Marines. But Joe got distracted by his girlfriend, so Dad ventured on alone. He found the Naval Recruitment Center first and heard they had the best food, so he joined the Navy. He was sent to the Great Lakes Boot Camp outside of Chicago, where he experienced many firsts. He learned that Southern boys knew a lot about guns, as he held one for the first time. He was shocked to learn so many guys who had joined the Navy did not know how to swim. And he learned how to drive while on guard duty, when he was told it was his turn to drive the Jeep and he had to confess he didn't know how to drive. He got into trouble when he was ordered to load ammunition magazines aboard the plane of a squadron leader and inadvertently left one passenger. The squadron leader was in the air on a flight training mission, and so Dad got 4 weeks of squadron duty as a result. But being a resourceful young man, he read on a bulletin board that the Navy was looking for recruits to join a night squadron in New England, and he put in for that duty. He was chosen due to his excellent eyesight, and he got out of garbage duty. At almost 102, he still doesn't need glasses other than readers. His squadron was part of the Shade Maids Air Group and operated under the cover of night aboard the carrier USS Independence. They served under Admiral Halsey in the South Pacific. Their missions included reconnaissance, combat air patrol, and ground attacks. Dad manned the 50 caliber machine turret gun. They were a crew of 3, Dad, the pilot Jug Williams, and the navigator Bob Metalko. Both Bob Metalko and Dad were small enough to fit into the tight spaces aboard the TBM, their plane, a torpedo bomber. Williams, the pilot, had been a wrestler in high school and was a big muscular guy, but he was a great pilot. Had to be to take off from a pitching carrier in the South Pacific at night. The carrier was blacked out for safety reasons, and then they had to land the plane on that same carrier without any lights to guide them, just a signal flagging.
No more, no less. There I am. I look young there, don't I?
Yeah, how about a photo with the whole thing? Oh, it's a great idea. Sure. Just a few.
Thank you everyone for coming out today. It's a great day to be out here, and what we're trying to do, obviously, is a lot of people have wanted to recognize those who gave so much to our community, and especially if they're from this community, and your name came right up, Bill. I mean, it wasn't even a question. So this is the first day of the inaugural Borough of Freehold Veterans Recognition Sign Program. We have sign toppers that are going to be placed throughout the town, recognizing those veterans who served our country, and it's really happy to the mayor and council and business administrator, Department of Road and Works, that everyone who helped make this happen, and all of you, and for nominations, a really fantastic thing that'll go on for the next 20 plus years in Freehold. So without further ado, I want to introduce Mayor Kevin Kane to say a few words.
Thanks, Sandra. This is special. I mean, just take a look around. Look at the size of this crowd here today. And we're all here for one reason. This guy sitting right next to me. We were going over the list. Before I start, I just want to, where'd Dan go? I want to thank Dan Xavier and our entire Veterans Committee for putting this together. How about a nice round of program in Freehold. We are the first in the state of New Jersey to do this. And we ask the residents and the public to generate ideas on things they want to see in town. Then the committee takes it and brings it to fruition. This idea has been kicking around for quite a while. Dan and the Veterans Committee have finalized this, and this is the first day of many, many more to come. But I can't think of a better person to be honored for this than Bill Madden. Bill Madden, we're talking about his service to our country today, but there is not one person in this town that has done more for this town than Bill Madden.
Yeah, Bill.
Has been on every committee. I mean, he's on the Board of Health for over 50 years, the First Aid for almost 80 years. I mean, you name it, you're going to see Bill Madden on that committee. There is not one, like I said, not one person who has done more for our town than Bill Madden. So, one more, and how fitting, the Freehold.
There's 4 of them behind you too. They came in. So.
Yeah.
I could go on and on and on and on. But let me read this resolution. You know, that's the problem with elected officials. We like to talk a little bit. But let me read this resolution to you, sir. Resolution of the Borough of Freehold, the Mayor and Council honoring William Madden with a Veterans Commemorative Marker. Whereas William Madden is a resident of Freehold Borough. And whereas the Borough of Freehold has established a Veterans Commemorative Marker program to honor our veterans and promote public awareness and appreciation for their outstanding contributions to our country, ensuring that their service is respected and remembered. Whereas William Madden has served honorably in the Armed Forces of the United States of America as a sailor in the United States Navy from March 28, 1946 to February 24, 1948. And whereas William Madden's friends and family and the Freehold community at large seek to recognize and honor his selfless service. Whereas William Madden shall be inducted into the inaugural class honored Freehold Borough Veterans on July 4th, 2025. Now, therefore, be it resolved that a commemorative marker in honor of William Madden be prepared and mounted at the intersection of Brandenburg Avenue and South Street in the Borough of Freehold, also known as Madden Avenue.
That's right. That's right.
So that all may know of William Madden's service to our nation during his time of need and honor him for his service. Be it further resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold that a copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to William Madden, whose service and sacrifice is an inspiration to the citizens of the Borough of Freehold. Signed, Kevin Kane, Mayor, July 4th, 2025.
Hey.
I don't know if you want to say any family members, any family members.
He is so fortunate. Say it again. He is so fortunate, I will say fortunate, that he has 6 children. A boy, 4 girls, and a boy.
Forget me.
And when you have daughters, you have angels.
Hey.
So he is blessed with 4 and 2 boys.
Couple of little doubles.
And he is honored that everyone came out. Right?
Our mayor and council members that are here. We have Council President Adam Rice, Councilwoman Annette Jordan, Councilman Mike Benedetto, Councilman Jeff Freeman, Councilwoman Margaret Rogers, Councilwoman Sharon Schuster couldn't be here today, and
You're doing fine.
Good. You're doing good.
All right.
Look up. Dad.
Look up.
Look up there. Okay, one. We're going to take the white sheet off.
Right at top.
Thank you all for coming out today. This is the Borough of Freehold's inaugural Veterans Recognition Sign Program. Today we're out here to honor Edward Daly, who did a lot for this community, and a proud veteran and honorably served our country. And this sign will be a permanent memorial to him. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Kevin Kane.
Thanks, Dan. Before I get started reading the resolution we're going to present to Ed, just one quick thing. Ed and Leslie are on vacation. We're going to redo this when Ed and Leslie get back. We're going to present it to them personally. But we want to do it today because that's part of the inaugural class. We want to make sure we did this. But before I start, I want to thank Dan Xavier and our Veterans Committee for all the work they've done to create these sign toppers and bring this project to fruition. As we mentioned all day, this came out of our participatory budgeting program, honoring our veterans who were suggested numerous times, and it's turned into these street sign toppers, and we're just so happy to be starting this today. So I'm going to read a resolution. Borough of Freehold Mayor and Council honoring Edward Daly as a Veterans Commemorative Marker. Whereas Edward Daly is a resident of Freehold Borough, and whereas the Borough of Freehold has established a Veterans Commemorative Marker program to honor our veterans and promote public awareness and appreciation for their outstanding contributions to our country, ensuring that their service is respected and remembered. Whereas Edward Daly has served honorably in the armed forces of the United States of America as a soldier in the United States Army from November 1st, 1965 to October 31st, 1971 during the Vietnam War. Whereas Edward Daly's friends and family and the Freehold community at large seek to recognize and honor his selfless service. Whereas Edward Daly shall be inducted into the inaugural class honored Freehold Borough veterans on July 4th, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that a commemorative marker in honor of Edward Daly be prepared and mounted at the intersection of Park Avenue and West Main Street in Borough Freehold, so that all may know of Edward Daly's service to our nation during a time of need and honor him for his service. Be it further resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Freehold that a copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to Edward Daly, whose service and sacrifice is an inspiration for the citizens of the Borough of Freehold. Signed Mayor Kevin A. Kane, July 4th, 2025. We have our council members, Councilwoman Margaret Rogers, Councilwoman Annette Jordan, Councilman Mike Benedetto, Councilman Jeff Freeman, Council President Adam Rice, and then we have Dan Xavier and Jeff Freeman. If you're